Hey everybody, welcome to Looking at the Markets with David Modell. As you can see, I chose a lady with a blue dress for today's video thumbnail image, and I actually do put some thought into the artwork for the thumbnail images, and I chose a lady with a blue dress this time because I want you to pay special attention to the blue line and also the orange line. But the idea today is that you'd rather be with the blue line than the orange line for sure, okay? And you'll see what I'm talking about in a moment, but the main idea is that if you are a swing trader or a long-term buy and hold investor, you might want to consider only going long, only buying when the candles on your chart are above the 200-day moving average. And you can use the simple or the exponential moving average either way. They're really not very, very different. There are slight differences between the two, okay? But oftentimes when you're using a 200-day moving average, you can choose either the SMA, the simple moving average, or the EMA, exponential. All right, so what am I talking about here? Well, I was inspired today. I want to give credit where it's due. I like to look through Twitter, and this is a tweet from Eddie Elfenbein. Not exactly sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. My apologies. But this gentleman is pretty popular on Twitter here, and he tweeted this very recently. He wrote, "Afternoon Project. Here's a 92-year look at the S&P 500 above its 200-day moving average in blue, okay, and then also below the 200-day moving average here in orange. All right." This is a fancy way of saying that the trend is your friend. So my interpretation of what he meant, and I could be wrong, but I believe that he meant that if you're buying the S&P 500 when it's above the 200-day moving average, then over the last 92 years you would have done pretty well, shown by the blue line here. And if you only bought the S&P 500 when it was below its 200-day moving average, then here's the orange line. You would have gone sideways or even actually down a little bit starting from 92 years ago, okay? So what is that telling you? Well, you want to be like the lady in blue here, not the orange, all right? So it's just something to think about. Now, does that mean that that's a strategy you want to use, just literally just buying the S&P 500 when it pops above the 200-day moving average, and then selling it when it's or just not buying it when it's below the 200-day moving average? I mean, you could do whatever you want. If that's a strategy you want to try out, that's fine. It's your choice. You got to make your own decisions, folks. Don't do something because of somebody in a video says it. But maybe a more sophisticated strategy would be to add a 200-day moving average. Just add that line to your chart and use it to help you make decisions. So if you're using the MACD as a signal to get in, or RSI, stochastics, whatever, maybe as a filter, also put the 200-day moving average up there. Just put that extra filter up there, and then only take a trade maybe if the MACD gives you a signal, or RSI, stochastics, whatever, and also only if the if the candle is above or closes above the 200-day moving average for that day. Talking about on the daily candlestick chart here. All right. So you can use that to filter out, when the trend is going against you, so to speak. All right. Otherwise, you could end up being like this orange line, and I'd rather you be like the blue line. All right. And that's what the lady in blue is trying to tell you here. All right. So just something to think about. So thanks a lot to Mr. Eddie Elfenbein, and just maybe consider using the trend as your friend, just an idea to help keep you out of bad trades and trying to swim against the tide, so to speak. All right. So thanks a lot for watching and listening. More videos coming soon.